All right, everyone, since we're right on the hour, we might as well start. So my name is Sarah, and I'm going to be your masterclass host for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I do see some familiar names as well. Thank you so much. So today, I'm also joined by Carmel, who is head of our customer success team in OnePageCRM. Carmel, do you want to go ahead and say hi?
Hi, everybody. My name is Carmel, and I'm Head of Customer Success here in OnePage CRM. I'll be joining Sarah on this session to chat to you about some of the most frequently asked questions and also be giving you a sneak peek at some of our upcoming features. So stay tuned for that. Thank you.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Thanks so much, Carmel. I'm really excited to hear about the beta features. And as a special guest, we also have Margot Crawford from Wave Productivity, who's kindly joined us as well. Margot, do you want to do you want to come on and say hi?
I'd love to. Hello, I'm Margot Crawford with Wave Productivity. I'm a productivity coach and professional organizer, and I help people get more focused, organized, and productive at work. I'm here to talk about some of the features that can allow you to be more productive with OnePage.
That is wonderful, Margot. Thank you so much for coming on. And I'm going to mute the mic here, and there we go. So just a little bit about me. So I've worked in customer success for more than 5 years now. I work closely with customers on a daily basis. I help them get onboarded. I answer the questions, and I also do a little bit of work with the help resources. So just like in our weekly webinar, this presentation it is going to be very quick, but the format is going to be a little bit different. Now, we know that you're busy, so it is easy to miss out on the new features. So this masterclass is going to focus on these. So I'm going to show you the split pane. I'm going to tell you the story of how the split pane came about. And then I'm also going to be showing you how you can receive weekly reports in your email with custom reporting. For the activity page, we've got smarter tracking of your contacts and activity. And then with the saved actions, I'm going to show you how you can reduce admin by using them. For deal items, I'm going to show you how you can standardize your sales process and also how you can create a quote in 27 seconds to boost your sales with our new feature, Quick Quotes. And yes, we have actually timed it, and it is 27 seconds. And finally, I'll go through how you can customize your deal list to focus on the details that matter the most. Now, we wanted to host this masterclass because we want you to make the most of OnePageCRM. We want you to harness the power of OnePageCRM. Okay, so let's get started. You may not have noticed, even though you see our logo every day, and you can see it on the screen here, but our logo is indicative of our story. You see, back when we first started in 2010, and even still today, our product mission is to be as easy to use as email. And email is possibly the most widely used application in the world. And so we designed our app to look and feel like an email client. So let me just move on from this screen here. And I'm going to move on to the action stream. Here we go. So in email, so when you're using an email application, there is a flow or list of emails that appear on the left-hand side, as you know, and you click them to read on the right, and it's all in the same screen. And that's really the essence of a one-page application. And this is called the split pane view. So as you can see here on my screen, I've got my contacts on the left. I click on the contact that I want to view, and I work on the right-hand side. So you've probably already caught on to this, but this is where the name OnePageCRM came from. But here's the thing. Back in 2015, we actually updated our default view to be single column because it's better suited to tablet and mobile. So if you actually created an account from then onwards, you only had one view, while our legendary legacy customers had two. And we thought that we may eventually phase out this original split pane view, but it wasn't to be, because our legendary loyal customers carried on using the split pane view and they loved it. And so here we are today. We made some small tweaks, and we switched it on for everyone. And here it is in action. So this is my split pane view, and this is my single column view. And look how smooth the transition is. We know that sales is not just about making the sale once. It's about taking care of the customer even after the sale is made. So personally, I do a combination of check-in calls to prospects and account management. I do a quick check-in call for one prospect and I quickly move on to the other. And split pane view allows me to move with speed for lead qualification. But then there are times when I have to focus on one specific customer and deal, and I don't need any distractions. So I switch to the single column view, and all I see is everything related to this contact. So for those of you that are in lead qualification, split pane view might be the view for you. And if you're in account management, then the column view is best. So do check it out. So now I want to move on to something for our sales managers here. We know that every update and every action counts. So we've got just the right tool for you to help you track everything that you and your team are working on. Okay. So you can do this with our custom reports. Now, these reports are a top-level overview of your team's activity. They are customizable and they allow you to tailor them as you require. We know that sales teams regroup every week, or at least we do. So we go ahead and we generate a report weekly based on what we required. So I know that for my team, I need my status conversions, I need my calls, my deals are very important, and my actions. And my date range will be from last week, and the segment will be weekly, and I'm going to run the report. And here's my report here. Now, the real strength of custom reports is in their continuity. Once you have selected the metrics that matter most to you, you can choose for it to be regularly emailed to you or anyone else on your team. So to do this, just simply hit on save here. I'm going to give it a name here. So weekly report. I'm going to put in my name. There we go. And I want to have it emailed to me every single week on a Monday at 8 a.m. 7 a.m. is too early. I can choose my format. I put in Excel and I save that. Now, just to let you know, you can save up to 3 reports for which you would like to get regular updates, but you can generate as many reports as you need. Now, you might meet your board quarterly and they might only want your sales figures. And if that's the case, you can modify your report with the data slice that you want. So you can modify it by going to modify. So they don't really care about the calls. They don't care about the actions. Really, what they care about are the status conversions and the deals. And you can change the date range to, let's say, last quarter here, and the segment will be quarterly, and I can save and run it. And here it is. And then once you have generated it, you can download it in an Excel file. Easy. We developed the custom reports to keep your finger on the pulse. And what if you need to dig a little deeper into your team's activities? Then your activity page is the next place that you want to go. So to get a real-time view of your sales progress, the activity page is perfect for this. And this means that your activity page does get quite busy. So we've actually recently updated it for a better customer experience. The activity page is now smart and clean. You can easily identify the types of activities that you've completed because they're all neatly grouped together. And if you want to see if you want to see more information on that activity, just click on show history, and there you go. And here you can see the progress of the deal. And what if you have files that are attached to your notes or your deals in the CRM? Well, we made it even easier for you to review them because now instead of having to download the document, you can just preview it in the app. And here it is. Snifty, huh? And now I want to move on to the contact timeline because this has got an update too. So I'm just going to go all the way down to my contact timeline, and here it is. So we've added a status flow. This new addition is so powerful because it allows you to track how long your contacts excuse me, how long your contacts are stuck at a specific stage. So you're encouraged to move it forward. For example, I've got my contact here, Ben. Now he's been a prospect for 6 days now. So I suppose I need to start following up with them until they become a customer. And another thing that we've improved is our search. Now, what if you remember talking to a customer about a discount, but you just can't remember which contact? It happens, we're all human, and we do work with a lot of contacts. Now you can look for a specific word or a phrase that you've previously logged in a note, for example. Now, I know I spoke about a discount to a customer or to a prospect rather. So discount here, I go discount and I search for it in the activity page. And there we go. So I actually spoke about a discount to my contact here, Joseph Fitzgerald. Now, I did speak to him about the discount, so I actually need to go and follow up with him. Oops. I've already met with him, so then I'm going to go and follow up. And here we go. So how did I do that? So OnePageCRM has actions at its very core. And that's why, even though this is not a very new feature at all, we wanted to draw your attention to the saved actions, because not only will it help, will it save you time, it's also going to allow you to implement a clear sales process. So as you can see here, the saved actions are a list of predefined actions that you can select quickly to create a next action. So once I select it, I can create the saved actions, and here it is. But let me show you where you can actually set them up. Here we go. So you set them up over here. And you edit them. You can group them as well. I'm going to ungroup them because I want to show you something here, and I'm going to delete it. So here we go. As you can see, I am deleting and I am editing my saved actions. And another great benefit of the saved action is that if you have more control over when a certain action should fall due. So for example, I send quite a few quotes, and I know that I need to follow up about a quote 3 days after. So I put in 3 days here. This means that whenever I insert my next action, it's going to fall due in 3 days. So that in 3 days, that next action is going to pop up in my action stream, and I'm going to follow up about the quote. And here it is. Now, if you have a specific process for lead qualifications and the actions are always the same, you can actually group these actions together to cut down on admin work. So let me show you. So I'm going to edit actions again, and I know these are all part of my lead qualification process. I'm going to group my actions, lead qualification. Here we go, lead qualification process, and I'm going to save it. So now, instead of having to select all of my actions one by one, I can just click on my group of actions, my group of saved actions rather, and I insert it. And here it is. So then I save that, and here we go. Now, here you can complete the next action, and because sometimes you actually get to complete two steps in one call, you can complete the other queued action, and you can promote the one that you need to follow up with. And here it is. So you've seen how saved actions help you standardize your actions. But what about your deals? And I know that deals can sometimes be repetitive, so of course we've got you covered. Let me show you the deal items. I'm going to go ahead and add a deal. I'm going to put in my deal name. So SEO here. No, I want it this way. And let me show you the deal items here. Here it is, my deal items. You can search for them, for example. Here we go. Or what you can do is you can select them from a list. or a predefined list. So So deal items are a reusable list of your products or services along with the description and the price. To set one up, you hit on edit deal items. It's very similar to the saved actions. And you can add in the name, let's say SEO course. Let's go for a description here. 1 hour course, for example. And I'm going to put in the price over here. And I'm going to save it. So then let's say if they went, if your customer went for video production and SEO course, that's what Ben wanted. So I'm going to insert it. And here it is. And we've done the totals for you. Easy peasy. And here's another hack. Okay, so if you are changing the price because of a discount, let's say Ben here is getting video production and the SEO and the SEO course. So I want to give him a discount. So $200 off. Here we go. And it's done the totals. And here and it's done. I'm going to go ahead and save my deal here because I want to show you another thing that we'll do for you. We'll actually do the quote for you. You heard it right. Yes, we do the quick quotes. With quick quotes, apologies, you can send quotes based on the deal information that you've just created. So then you click on email quote. And here we go. And this is my quote. And it is set up with a preset email as well. And whenever you're ready to send it on, you just hit on send. And there we go. And it's done and it's gone. So now we have actually timed it. And I know I've said it before, but this process takes approximately 27 seconds. Okay. And finally, as you start adding and winning your deals, you may want to start analyzing them a little more. Here, let me show you the pipeline. Specifically, I want to show you the deal list. In the deal list, we introduced a way for you to see the fields in a deal that matter the most to you. For those of you that use custom fields with your deals, you can now choose to display the custom fields and hide the columns that aren't relevant to you. And to do this, just click on the gear icon and you can deselect the fields that aren't useful to you. So I know my commissions aren't really useful to me at the moment, and my margin is not, but this custom field on-site training and close date is very important to me. And here it is. You can also sort by amount and stage in ascending and descending order as well. And of course, you can filter the deal list by whether a deal is won or by whether a deal is lost or if it's pending. And if you want, you can also download it in Excel. Great. So that's it for me. And now I'm going to leave the stage to Carmel. Thank you so much for hanging on. And yeah, Carmel, if you want to go ahead. You're very welcome, Carmel.
Everybody hear me okay? Okay, I think I'm good. I think my microphone's working. So thanks very much, Sarah, for that and for demoing all those great features. I'm just going to share my screen with you now. So just be a moment. Okay. So we've been really busy on the chat, which is always amazing. And one of the things I do love about working in OnePageCRM is that we get lots of really good feedback from our customers, and we do really take note of that. So every week we have a catch-up meeting with the project manager, and we discuss kind of the suggestions that's come through the previous week, and we also discuss different issues or different problems that customers might be having. So we really do put customers at our forefront, and that's one of my favorite parts of this role, is being the voice of you, our customers. So thank you so much for that. And so what I'll be chatting to you a little bit about is just 4 or 5 frequently asked questions that we get here quite regularly. So I'll just be showing you how you can answer those questions within the CRM, or the powerful features of how you can solve those particular scenarios. And then I'll be giving you a demo of 2 of our beta features, and just giving you a heads up on what's upcoming before we pass you over to Margot. So really looking forward to chatting with Margot too. So I'll get started now. So You can see my screen. So when you log into OnePageCRM, sometimes this is what you're hit with. And I think people can often feel a little bit overwhelmed because they have lots of overdue actions. Now, I have to hold my hands up, and this happens to me too from time to time. And it's typically when I take 2 or 3 days off from the office, I come back in, and I really just want to get cracking on what I need to do today. So you can do that. So you can actually hide contacts without overdue actions. So by doing that, I can get in and start working straight away for my actions for today. But it comes with a little warning. So it's more like a Cinderella-like time limit. And basically what this does is it switches off at midnight, because we are all about, if you have set a next action, you should complete it. So it does automatically turn off at midnight. But the question still remains, how do you sort out those overdue actions in the long term? So my suggestion is that you would go take a couple of minutes, even it might take a couple of minutes every day for a week. But what you would do is maybe have a rundown through. So anyone I have deals with, I'm going to prioritize those. So I'm going to take these ones here and I'm going to push them forward until tomorrow. So I'm just going to just mark the bulk update them. And then the others, I'm just going to manually just maybe select maybe 5, maybe 10 altogether and push them forward to the following week. So maybe they're just checking calls and they're leads. So they're not exactly expecting a call from me. And then the rest, I'm going to push forward to the following week. So by doing that, I'm then, my action stream's up to date, and I now feel more in control of what I need to do and when I need to follow up. So it is just a matter of kind of breaking it down. But there is that option of focus, which kind of you can jump right into action straight away. And a question that was on chat there was about hiding contacts without actions. And I always, so since day one, I've been working in OnePageCRM for 6 years, and I have always had this option selected. So hide contacts without actions. And personally, I just like to know what's happening tomorrow. I don't want it too cluttered to see what's coming up in a week's time. I just leave 1 day of upcoming actions. And so that way, again, my action streams kept really clean. And then as well, I can always apply a save filter. So from feedback we've heard from our customers, they usually would do this if you come back from a conference and you have lots of leads and maybe you want to get in touch with them all together. You can apply this filter, so it saves you kind of extra clicks. So if I click onto the pipeline and click back, the save filter will still be enabled on my account. So it's kind of similar to the overdue actions, though it switches off at midnight. So again, bring you back to your default action stream view. So that's the focus mode, and it really can help you kind of improve your focus and your vision of where you need to be and where you need to be at. So I definitely would recommend checking it out. The next question which we get, we've actually got it probably most recently, probably last year was probably when it kind of first started coming in. But especially it came from when a new user was added onto an account. And another team member would often get in touch and say that their contacts have disappeared from their action stream. So this came about as a result of perhaps, now not always a new user, but more cases than not, a new user would maybe come in here, they would tick this box, these little tick boxes here, and they get this bulk toolbar. And now by accident, what often happens is they might change the owner of that contact. So they didn't realize actually what they've done. And when they've changed the owner, it takes with them the next action. But if you go to your action or your activity page, you can easily see, okay, these are the contacts that are affected. And it's not such a big deal, or it's not that complex when it's just one team member and one group of contacts owned by another team member. But prevention is better than cure. So what we implemented was some new user privileges. So what you can do now is, let's say we go into a contact, Adam Johnson, and we click on his permissions. And here we can just make sure that we don't have bulk update status selected or bulk update contact owner, because that kind of limits the damage that can be done by this. And then obviously once everyone's aware and fully trained on the CRM, feel free to give them access. Here on this page as well, somebody actually asked about reports. And yes, if you're not an account owner or administrator, you do need this option to be checked by your administrator in order to be able to view those reports that Sarah demoed a little bit earlier. So I would recommend coming in here, checking out the permissions, because we have updated these recently, as in the last few months. So it is always good to get familiar with these type of features. Another one we get a lot is about duplicates. So the question usually goes something like this. My account is a mess. There's lots of contacts in there and they're duplicated. What do I do? So we have an option to find and merge duplicate contacts in bulk. So again, it's here under your advanced search, and this area here is so powerful. I know probably lots of people might not even think to click here, but once you do, it can kind of open up a whole new level of power that you have within the CRM, and you can filter based on lots of different criteria. But I'm just going to focus here today on the duplicates. So here you can filter by duplicates by email address or by first name and last name. So I'm just going to go first name and last name first. And I can see here that I have 26 in total, but you can see I have like even 4 of one particular contact in there. Okay, there's 2, maybe there's 4. So what we always recommend before you kind of go quickly and just select everything and merge duplicates, what we would recommend is that you review them. So just double check things like, okay, so this is a different company name than this one. So, okay, maybe these aren't duplicates. So I'm not going to tick that box. Okay, here again, there's different company names. Okay, Ralph. Okay, he looks like the same person. Okay, but there's a different status and a different contact owner. So another thing to note with the duplicates is for single value fields like contact owner and status, it takes the value of the most recently added contact. So when you tick the boxes here, it'll merge. They'll take the field of the most recently added one. So in this case, for example, it could be Adam if he added the contact last into the CRM. So we do always recommend to review them, because once you merge a duplicate, there is no way to undo, but it is a really, really great way to tidy up your account. And what you can do as well is, if you don't have time to kind of filter through them all, you can always save this and kind of come back to it. So kind of review it, maybe take 5 every day and just review them, and that way you'll easily get through them as well. The next one that we get asked quite often is, how do I record a reason for a lost deal? And I suppose it's in the last maybe year or so, we realized how important your pipeline is. And that's why you now have 2 views in your pipeline. But sometimes it's nearly more important to understand why you're not winning a deal compared to why you are winning deals. So it can often open up a whole world of different questions. So we don't have a field right now for recording your lost reason, or the reason that you lost the deal. It is something that's coming on our roadmap, so definitely stay tuned for that. But before, a workaround for that would be to add a custom field to a deal called lost deal reason. And by doing this, you can then select the option. And I'm just going to take out the note. If you have 5 or 6 things that are cropping up all of the time, you can create them either as a drop down or as a custom field. Or if you don't know, if it's some kind of miscellaneous ones, maybe boss on vacation, or sabbatical maybe, you can add that in, and you'll be able to look at all those others at another time. So just before you hit it lost, just you edit it and you add that custom field. And then if you need to report on that, which is hugely important, what you can do is you just go into your advanced search, lost deal reason, and if you have your options, you can select them. So is another competitor, for example. It all depends on what information you have in there. But if you want everything, so is not blank, for example, it gives me 3. So I'm just going to put in lost deal reason. And once I save up this filter, I can filter my pipeline by it. So I can even export. So I'll filter here. I go down to lost deal reason. And so just make sure as well to select lost here. And I could export those. As Sarah mentioned about the deal list, I can actually have that displayed here as well, so you can easily see it. or I can download it as well. So it is hugely important to look at the reasons why people aren't choosing your products and services, as this will help you to improve in the long run. So that's kind of the core, I suppose, frequently asked questions. Well, they're just 4 out of probably 104, but I'm just conscious of your time. So I'm just going to run through very quickly 2 beta features that we have available for you to test. So we have actually probably more than 100 people already testing out these features. And the first one is Focused User. And this came about again as a result of feedback. So basically customers would get in touch and say, I have an independent sales agent. I want to add him onto my CRM, but I don't want them to be able to see what I'm doing. So what you can do is you can enable Focused User. And it's as simple as just selecting from the drop-down. And basically what happens is when they log into their CRM, I have one here. So what they see different is that they don't see TeamStream. So you see here on my account, I have TeamStream. And they, under the pipeline or activity page, they're not able to filter by different team members either. So if I go here to my pipeline, I can't filter by team member like on other ones. And the same is true for activity as well. So I can only see what contacts and actions I own, but the account owner or administrator can see everything. So as I mentioned, that's in beta. For those of you that want to try it out, please just drop us an email, support@onepagecrm.com, and we'd be happy to get that enabled for you. And again, we really do welcome your feedback on it. And then the second beta feature is multiple pipelines. Again, my theme is quite similar. It came about as a result of customers getting in touch asking us for this feature. So this beta feature, you hit configure once it's enabled on your account, and you actually name your pipeline. So for example, multiple pipelines are ideal if you have a different sales process for your different products or services. So let's say one consultancy. So this is my consultancy business, and this is my one direct is my product business. So I'm just going to say needs defined. I'm going to X off some of these because they're not relevant. That's all I do. I just qualify them and then meeting. I'm just going to change the stage as well to maybe 50%. And then it's literally deal won or lost. So this is my my other pipeline. I can easily flick between the two. So very easily. I can also add a deal and decide which pipeline I want to add it into. So let me just go here, SEO, and just search my contacts. So I'll go for Jane. She's always a safe bet. And the amount, let's say 566. So again here, once I have a deal in that pipeline, I look at my pipeline, I can easily, do what I do with my my other pipeline and move my deal forward to ultimately closing that sale. So this multiple pipelines, it's very easy to use, like all our features in OnePageCRM, and you can have up to 5. So if anyone wants to get added onto multiple pipelines, feel free to drop us an email. And then I don't actually have any screens ready for you here now, but what's coming soon is email improvements for Gmail and Outlook 365. So you'll be able to track opens, and you'll also be able to reply to emails directly from the CRM. So we're hugely excited about that, especially as we're Gmail users here ourselves. We really will look forward to that. And we also have got some automations coming. You can keep an eye on what's upcoming on our roadmap by just going here to product updates, and our roadmap is visible for you to check out there at any time. So feel free to do that. So that's pretty much everything from me. I'll pass you right back to Sarah, who's going to be chatting now with Margot about her success with OnePageCRM. And I think she's throwing in a productivity tip from what I hear. So thanks, everyone. I'll be jumping back on to questions.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Carmel. That was great. I'm just going to put my camera back on. Here I am. Oh, it won't let me. You'll have to excuse me. Here I am. No, maybe I'm not here yet. Here I am. Okay, great. Super. So we've got this. Now, Margot, thank you so much for joining us today. Once again, I'm so excited to have you on. I'm just wondering, could we do a quick test to see if we can hear you?
Sure. I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Margot. Okay, so Margot, I would like you to introduce yourself and also Wave Production. If you want to go ahead and give a quick introduction, that would be great. So I'll leave you the floor.
Sure. So my name is Margot Crawford, and my business is Wave Productivity. I'm a productivity coach, and I work with people who are overwhelmed and stressed out and feel like they just can't get enough done. It might be that day that you sit at your desk and you just feel completely overwhelmed. Go through your day looking for papers or stuff on your computer and you just can't find it. And at the end of the day, think, I just put 10 hours in, where did it all go? I can help with that, and I can help you get more focused, organized, and productive.
Amazing. Thank you, Margot. And I suppose that's where OnePageCRM comes in with you. So I'm going to dive right in. And but first of all, I just want to ask you, how do you generate your leads?
So a lot of them are through referrals and connections I made in networking. So I do a lot of networking, and then from that, either clients or people that I network with will send me referrals.
Okay, amazing. And do you add them then to the CRM right there and then?
Yeah, so I have a process that I kind of vet out certain people. You know, not every connection is going to be the right connection, but once I vet out people, then they immediately go into OnePageCRM, and then I kind of work them through a process and system, making sure that I can connect with them so that I'm top of mind.
Amazing, thank you. Okay, so what are your favorite OnePageCRM features? And can you give us an example of how you use these features? If you want, you can go ahead and share your screen as well. I'm just going to check here because I think, oh no, Carmel is not sharing her screen anymore. Thank you, Carmel. So do you want to go ahead and try?
Sure. So there you go. You can see my screen. And one of the things that I really love about OnePage is, and it's super easy, is just the piece that says next action. So when I was looking for a CRM, I wanted something that was going to drive me to action. Don't we all want to be driven into action, and don't we want it to be really clear? So it's always clear to me what my next action is with the contact that I have. For this person in particular, it's to send an invoice. So another way that kind of my clients will get a little bit caught in what to do next is that they don't add a verb to the next action. So making sure that you're sending an invoice. I noticed with Carmel's action list, they all had verbs: call back, contact. But then again, like, what is the contact? Are you emailing? Making that really specific so that it can drive you into action. Another great thing that I use with OnePage is tags. So I'm in the Boston, Massachusetts area in the United States, but I often travel for business and will meet with clients. So a lot of my work is in the Southwest. So you notice here that one of my tags is that this person is in the Southwest. This is extremely helpful for me because then I can pull a report and say, okay, who are all the people in the Southwest? Who is it that I can start either contacting, making meetings, setting up coffee dates, reconnect with in some way? So I use tags to tell me where people live specifically and how I can connect with them. I also use filters that allow me to decide, is this a person that I'm connected with? We have some shared synergy in our companies or the work that we do. And that leads me to put them as like a tier A. They're a person that I'm very well connected with. So I tier my contacts as A, B, and C. A, being like really connected with them.
Okay.
C, maybe not so much. It might not work out that they would be interested in the work that I do, nor would I be able to refer them to other people. So, so they would go in a lower tier. And then from that, I can pull that up and decide, who do I want to meet with? Who do I want to connect with?
Great. So it's clarity and focus as well, especially with the verb in the next action, and then you're focusing your energies and your actions to the contacts, to the customers or the leads that you want to that you might be meeting. So that's brilliant.
Exactly.
And what other one-page CRM features do you use specifically in terms of the next actions as well, and in general with your contacts? What next actions would you usually complete?
So one of the things I'm always looking at is, how can I connect with the people that I have in my database in a different way? So one of the things I found is, maybe I had a meeting with them. It's a call might not be the right thing, but I do want to stay top of mind. So what I do is I check here and I see, okay, are they on LinkedIn? Let me get on LinkedIn, make a comment to maybe a post that they had. Where are they on Facebook? Getting on their Facebook page and making a comment or connecting in that way, so that they can see that I'm active in their lives and kind of paying attention to what they're doing.
Yeah, that's so interesting. That's brilliant. Thank you, Margot. So you also mentioned, because we did have a call before, and you mentioned that you do use the mobile app when you're out and about, and you had a brilliant story about that. So I was just wondering if you could tell it to us, because I thought it was just brilliant, because it does happen to me as well.
So here in the States, we have the Department of Motor Vehicles, and the lines can be really long. So we have to get a license and we have to get our car registered. And I was waiting in that very long line. In fact, it took about 2 hours. And at first I was standing there. I'm a productive person, but I was like, okay, what am I going to do here? And I pulled out my phone and I got on OnePage. And I literally, in just standing in the line and waiting, I connected with at least 50 to 60 people, just either emailing, hopping on their social media site. I made and set a couple of coffee dates. So it was wonderful. And I was so productive in that 2 hours while I was just waiting patiently to get my car ready.
I'm so glad you were able to use up the time, because I know now we don't live in the US, but we see the movies and, we hear, about the DMV and the long line. So it was brilliant to hear about that.
Yeah.
So what do you love most about OnePage CRM?
So when we were talking, I think that I had brought up the fact that I was really able to increase my sales. One of the things that I was doing when I first started using OnePage was that I was also taking a sales training class. I started incorporating what I was learning in that sales training class with using OnePage, and in a 6-month period found that my sales increased by 200%. Wow. 200%. So I really, it was really the work that I did in CRM that it drove my actions to make sure that I stayed connected with people and made sure that I followed through on leads. And my sales language and sales communication shifted so that I was able to make those conversations happen in a much more effective way. But I would not have been able to do it with OnePage, without OnePage.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Margot. That's brilliant feedback to hear. And I am conscious of time now. So I was just wondering if you could share a productivity tip with us, because I know that you're a productivity coach. So, we thought, go on.
Okay, so one tip is, if you can get it done in 2 minutes or less, just get it done. Just like OnePage is using the getting things done model from David Allen. This is a David Allen technique. If you can get it done in 2 minutes or less, just get it done. Whether you need to sign it, send it, buy it, burn it, fax it, whatever it is, get it out and get it done, and get out of those out of that red zone in your OnePage.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much, Margot. Thank you very, very much. This was brilliant.